Hi, it's Mark out here with you at the gun range today. You have to kind of put up with quite a bit of noise. This is range maintenance day, so there's mowers going out here, there's some shotgunning going on over here, shooting going on around me, but that's all wonderful sounds out at this gun range. What I'm here today to talk to you about, just very briefly, is the difference between training and practice. Now, a lot of times those terms are used interchangeably, but the reality is they are very different. They're interlocked for people who want to achieve the ability to use their guns under the most stressful conditions imaginable. Training and practice are two different things though. Training is, if you'll start thinking about it from this perspective, training is input. That's what you input into your mind. That's when you learn something. That's when you're standing in a class with a bunch of people and an instructor showing you how to do some things and how to train for them, or how to make them work. Or a private instructor is working with you, or maybe a friend that's an experienced shooter is helping you with something, showing you how to do something. That's the initial thing that you learn. Or you may find one of the countless YouTube videos that are very valuable from some of the best trainers in the world that are available now. But what you're looking at when you do that and what you're inputting is your training. That's where you're learning how to do something. But learning how to do something from that training where somebody just shows you how to do it is not going to enable you to do it well, or to do it at all for that matter. What's going to enable you to do it well is practicing the training that you've gotten. Practice is the ongoing work. That's the output. Input, training. Output is your practice. That's where you go out and you take what you have learned and you do it, and you do it over and over and over, and you see where you get better at it, and you work on it, and you work on the particulars of it, and you work on the minutiae of it even, until you get so good at it that it becomes second nature. Some of you may be frustrated with the time that you spend on the range. You may not have a whole lot of range time, but the reality is you'll see a lot of times in some of the best trainers will obviously tell people that they need more training. I heard one trainer say on one time that he had some 60 certificates from training that he had gotten himself. That's fine for him, but to suggest that that's what you have to do to be able to adequately use your gun for self-defense, that's just disingenuous. The reality is you have to train, get the input, then take what you've been trained to do and go out and practice it, and practice it and practice it and practice it to where it's second nature. That way, if the unthinkable happens, you have to use your gun in self-defense. You have to use it in a crowded area. You have to defend somebody with you, your kids, grandkids, your spouse, friends, whoever it may be. Then those things that you've done over and over and over again will kick in as skills that you've developed and are automatic when you pick that gun up and you have to use it. Now, that doesn't account for your nerves, your emotions, or anything else in that. That's a whole different subject. But the reality is, if you don't train for these skills, if you don't train for them first, get the input, and then practice what you've inputted, and continue to practice it till it's second nature, and then continue on with it so that if you have to use that gun, you can get it out and do it fast. In my own experience, I've been shooting for a long time now, and I've been doing a lot of videos and I've done a lot of training over the years, worked with a lot of people on the ranges. But for 3.5 or 4 years, I got to where I was just doing nothing except run and gun shooting. I was setting up scenarios where I'd set up a silhouette and a silhouette and a silhouette, and I'd shoot close and I'd back up and I'd shoot the next one, I'd back up and I'd shoot the next one. I'd run and gun, drop down, do all kinds of things for tactical skills training and tactical skills practice, but I seriously neglected my marksmanship. I came out about a year ago here with a friend, brought a bunch of my guns out here, came up the range, and I found myself out here at the gun range with my friend, and I found out that I found myself out here shooting and shooting at 10 and 12 inch circular gongs and missing more than I hit from 20 yards. I don't mean being a little off from the center. I'm talking about missing the target completely because I had neglected my marksmanship skills. That one range session brought it all down on me to where I realized I've made a serious mistake in not continuing to practice my marksmanship skills because I couldn't hit what I was shooting at. But now, those were the targets I couldn't even hit when I was when I came out here a year ago, I couldn't even hit them. I couldn't hit them from closer than I'm standing at about 30 yards right now. I couldn't hit them from closer than I am right now. Up here, I was missing the whole target. Why? Because I had simply neglected my marksmanship skills. But I'd been trained. I knew how to do it. So what I did right at that point, when it all came down on me right there, was I took the training that I already had. I knew how to do it. And I came out here and I began to practice my marksmanship skills again. The result? I can hit my targets again. Training, the input, practice what is necessary, the output that's necessary to come out and take what you've been trained to do to enable you to actually use it in real life scenarios should they happen. Because what you have practiced becomes second nature when you draw that gun and you begin to use it. So whatever you think you need to do, whatever you can imagine that you might need to do, whatever type of training, whatever you need to add into what the way you've been working and the way you've been training and practicing, take some training. Don't overcomplicate it. Take it small amounts at a time. Get a great video from a great trainer. Learn one thing or one or two related things. Then come to the range and begin to practice those until you can do them automatically, till they become second nature. Then practice them every once in a while. Add your next training in and begin to practice. Training and practice, two very, very intertwined elements, but two very different subjects and two very different things. Training, the input, but without practice, which is the output, the training is to no avail. I hope this helps somebody. I hope it'll get you both solidly training and practicing that training to develop those skills that you must have in a real life scenario. I'm Mark Rogers, and I'll see you again very soon in another Christian gun owner video.